been coming back quite a bit, being a lot more active in the past couple of months compared to what seemed like a bit of a dry spell towards the end of 2021 and start of 2022.
Yeah, it's great that, as you said, he's becoming more active. We're just seeing more of him, and he's our boy. You know, he's one of the first people that we casted. Like, it's good to see him back.
Still remember that meme Quirky made because we were always casting Armani. But regardless, yes, we are going to be kicking off this series on Berlingrad LE, where of course in the top left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the top left-hand corner, we have our boy, the Blues player coming out from the land of Korea. He's going to be representing Kwangdong Freaks, the most fashionable player in all of esports. He is Armani.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Berlingrad LE, we have the South Korean Terran player himself representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN.
Oh, we have Observer Plus Plus, I just noticed.
Oh, we don't just have Observer Plus Plus.
I noticed because I see Armani flailing his POV around
we
the
do.
mini-map.
He's freaking the hell out, mate. He's panicking. He's playing ByuN. Yes. This isn't just Observer Plus Plus. I believe this is a very unique Home Story Cup version. So I think it's a little bit updated. I don't know what the updates are, but it is updated.
Interesting. They have a macro where you get Sombrero in.
Oh, do I click on it?
I can't, so.
There's resources gathered and resources lost as 3 and 4. There we go.
Oh.
And of course, Shift B for the battle report.
Yeah, Shift B.
Oh wait, no, I didn't get it. Actually.
Shift B. Yeah, I didn't get what?
Oh, yeah, never mind. Maybe this
Control
one doesn't
B?
have it. Maybe this one just doesn't have it.
Alright, Shift L it is.
Oh god. But yeah, here we go. We're diving into a bit of a different series, a TvZ in general, and we don't get many of them, so we got to cherish them while we can.
Yeah, I mean, we have been a little bit more lucky in the past couple of weeks. We've been seeing a couple more of them in ESL Asia and Sparkling Tuna Cup, but yeah, we'll see how long this lasts. Pretty much. Do notice that a lot of we are missing a lot of big name players from Terran and Zerg and even Protoss, and I have to imagine that's because of GSL, but yeah, I'm thankful that the players who don't have to worry about that for now are here.
Yeah, I made the same speculation that if there's some players missing, it's probably just because of GSL. It's kind of what we expect. So we're in a weird period where GSL is the priority for all of these players, so we don't blame them for not showing up. But for the players that do show up, let's go,
Yeah.
They're here, let's put on a show.
Ooh. Great control of that Reaper from ByuN, getting a lot more than I think he imagined he would.
Yeah, this Reaper got 3 lings and a drone. So already so much damage being done. Meanwhile, back at home, we do see a 3cc before Starport build, so a very economic opener here from ByuN, which I'm a little bit surprised about because, especially in TvZ, we've seen him be pretty aggressive more often than not, push out with Hellbat timings or stim timings and drops.
The very first thing this game that struck me as a little bit odd from ByuN is that he actually built his barracks on the in position instead of trying to fake out a proxy here. Yeah. So yeah, I'm with you there. I'm definitely not used to seeing ByuN play quite so economic, but there is still time. He, for the most part, is opening up fairly macro oriented, but never too late to throw in an armory. Is what I say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very happy to see that ByuN is broadening his horizons because, hey, I always thought that, hey, if ByuN just played more standard, I think he'd be an even better player sometimes, Yeah. He's very stylistic with his aggression, but sometimes he needs to just calm the hell down. And so far, this game at least, it looks like he's doing exactly that. He did just finish up Stim, prioritizing that. Oh, never mind, he does restart it.
He can, yeah.
He did cancel it for a minute.
Oh, yeah, he got it too early. You want to prioritize the Liberator first.
Yeah, I wanted to get that Liberator going. So he is still going to go for a little bit of multi-prong harass here. He does have a decent amount of Hellions. He has 6 in total, soon to be 8. And alongside this Liberator, we know this song and dance. We know about the bit of a 1-2 punch that this does bring.
Yeah, we'll see just how well ByuN is able to force the attention away from Armani. How much damage the Liberator and the Hellions can really get here. Of course, you know, also have to be... It's also a little bit dependent on how much static defense Armani has. Great transfuse, saving that Overlord, but is it really saved? It is.
Oh my god, that was a clutch transfuse. You saw that Armani even had to turn around and back on up
did,
onto
yeah.
Creed to transfuse. So great control there by Armani, keeping everything alive. Meanwhile, the Hellions have arrived here. Again, the Hellions and the Liberator alongside the Viking here. The goal is to try and pull apart these queens and find damage somewhere. So far, Liberator gets shut down. At the same time, Hellions try and dive on in, but we see a wall. Oh no, it's not even full.
There's a wall, but it's actually a choke point here, working against Armani's favor. A lot of lanes are being shaved off. The queens will be doing everything they can to prevent the Hellions from advancing forward. But drones are still in a very precarious position.
Oh, they really are, but the Lings are looking to wall them off. The Hellions are, for the most part, trapped. They try to break free, but they all go down. Interesting kind of Sim City here by Armani, kind of, again, forcing to, like, corrals them into a corner.
That is such a risky position, yeah. SimCity, as a Zerg player. Yeah, I heard it in your voice, Light. I saw all the drones lining up to go through that little choke point. If at any moment ByuN was in position to roast them, Armani would have just lost immediately. But it worked out really well for him, only losing 6 drones total. The Liberator not really doing anything. So, all in all, good defense for Armani.
Yeah, it could have been worse. It could have been worse. And with the death of all those Hellions, that means that ByuN no longer has any of that map control. He's forced to back on up, give it all up, and allow Armani to spread creep as freely as possible. But that's okay, because ByuN did go for a 3rd CC build, so, you know, his own worker count is still pretty good, and he even kept that Liberator alive.
Yeah, that can be useful much later on if he wants to continue to harass. For now, he is using it a bit more defensively, just to discourage any potential run-bys by his third base.
Yeah, even going for a full wall-off as well, just securing this 3rd. At the same time, that Viking is still alive as well. It was repaired, so now he's back with a vengeance, looking to try and find some damage. It looks like he was able to find 1 Overlord in the end. And all said and done, like, Armani has kind of weathered the worst of it in the early game, but now in the mid-game, ByuN is pushing out with these 2 tanks.
And Terran players can do a lot with 2 tanks. ByuN can do even more, especially when you have slow banes like this. ByuN sitting on the fort, trying to pick off whatever he can, and he's already doing a pretty good job of shaving off that Baneling count.
Yeah, a couple of Banelings were picked up. The tanks are repositioned here towards the bottom left-hand corner as well, looking to lay siege upon this 3rd base. But in a couple of seconds, Baneling speed is going to finish. He just has to buy a little bit of time. Meanwhile, 1-1 for the Terran just finished up.
These Marines are going to be that much more powerful. A lot of creep is starting to recede, so that does mitigate Baneling speed a little bit, but Armani is setting up for a full surround.
Oh, yes, he is. We have Lings from behind, Lings from the front as well. Armani going to try and collapse on this. He doesn't pull the trigger yet. He has to make sure he doesn't mess up the timing. He's going in. And
ByuN's target firing has been fantastic. ByuN has attention elsewhere. Not here to split or pick up. He loses everything in this advance.
Exactly, only 1 medevac and a single Marine live to tell the tale. Get this man all the therapy he needs.
Pretty much.
Oh god.
We have some intense PTSD coming down. And yeah, this has definitely stymied ByuN a lot. I mean, we mentioned that ByuN was switching things up a little bit, playing it out a bit more economical. But ByuN is still hardwired to be aggressive. He loves going for timing attacks like this and to keep up that momentum. Now that Armani's been able to defend against that and stall it, he's going to be looking even better going into the late game, which he's already preparing for.
Exactly. We have the infestation bit on the way, 2-2 on the way as well. We don't see any tech yet. He's been relying on nothing but Ling Bane to defend, but it's been doing great. It's been doing wonders for him. Whether he goes into Lurkers or Ultras from here, we'll see what Armani decides to go for. Meanwhile, I was going to say that ByuN did clear up a lot of creep here, and it's still only just now being put back in. Meanwhile, oh my god, there was a little bit of a Bane run by.
Yeah. Somewhere along the line, Banelings are crashing into just about everything. Starting to be used a little bit inefficiently, but it does somewhat reset the tank count. So it might have been worth it in the end there for Armani. He can definitely afford to remake those Banelings.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you never want to see Banelings crash into tanks, but if there are enough Banelings, then who cares?
Yeah, you know? He's mining.
Yeah, like, you know, he's got his 4 bases now, 5 bases up and running. He can afford to do this. He goes for another bit of a Ling run by here, and unfortunately, ByuN just doesn't have a lot to defend. Oh my god, no!
Not even quite able to get the target fire on those Banelings. Plus 2 Carapace did finish up for Armani recently. That's just going to be even more annoying here for ByuN.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, we have Ling Bane run bys on both ends of the map right now. We do see the Lings forcing a lift up of the 4th base. Widowmine shots are going to be going up, and they do get some pretty good connections, but more SCVs did fall for ByuN.
Yeah, surprisingly, ByuN has been able to remake a lot of his SCVs. He's not that far behind if you factor in mules, but obviously I'm sure he would like to be scanning if he can. SCVs? Hello?
There's some of them asleep on the job at the moment, but you're 100% right. Like, the worker count for there we go. The worker count for ByuN is surprisingly high despite all the losses he has been sustaining. Meanwhile, another Ling run by. Unfortunately, what ByuN lacks right now is a lot of army supply. He's struggling to really keep up and defend both areas at once.
Yeah, he has a bigger army than Armani, but not by that much. And of course, a lot of his supply is in medevacs here.
Yeah, medevacs, widow mines as well, that one liberator. You know, he lost all of his tanks earlier, so defensively he's not as strong as he would otherwise like to be. Meanwhile, we have a double jump head towards the top right hand side of the map, and we do see a confirmation. Armani is going into lurkers.
The bane of many a Terran player, I am sure. But, you know, that's where the liberator from earlier comes in. Great connection on one of these widow mines. It's not expecting it to get 7 drones just like that.
Yeah, very nicely done at the same time. Oh my god, we also have a drop towards the top right, but ByuN wasn't looking at the wrong moment. Banelings do find their connections there. A lot of the drop does get cleaned up at the same time. Marauders are pushing in, but more than enough Ling Bane to stop them.
Yeah, thankfully ByuN did hot pick up in the end, and, you know, another pretty effective Widowmine connection in all of those. But as time continues, Armani, he's getting his Vipers, his lurker count is getting higher and higher. Does ByuN have a counter to this? He's only getting the Ghost Academy now.
Yeah, the Ghost Academy is looking a little bit late. Meanwhile, we do have another Widowmine drop. 3 more drones are going down. The drop towards the top right is converging back with the main army. I do appreciate that ByuN is trying to go for as many like drops and multi-prong harassment as he can, because he needs to buy time for those ghosts, as you were saying. Like, it's gonna take a while until they come out.
Absolutely will. It's going to take even longer for them to get enough energy for snipes and whatnot.
Meanwhile, a questionable fight there from Armani off of creep. He actually loses a lot of Lings in that engagement, so Armani has to be careful. Like, again, like, even though he's been doing great to keep ByuN back at home, he has to still respect that army. Yeah,
ByuN's honestly doing what ByuN does best, and that's trading as efficiently as he possibly can here in the open ground. Can't really push into creep, but every time he forces Armani out of position, he's winning the fights.
Yeah, and ByuN has a surprising amount of Marauders. Because of that, he just sniped a base, mate. Like, it didn't take him too long to do that either. Like, the Marauder count is insane. Marauders will also kind of help against Lurkers as well. They do soak up a little bit more damage. They're a lot less fragile than those Marines. Oh!
Ooh, that's a juicy mine hit if I've ever seen one. And yeah, all of a sudden, you know, with that hatchery going down, with ByuN catching back up on the worker count, the incomes are just about even.
Pretty much. But of course, we do have the Lurker Den done. Lurker upgrades are finishing up as well. Double Nidus on the way. And soon it's going to be Armani's turn to harass in multiple areas at once, to try and sneak into the main base, try and hit the 3rd, try and hit the 4th. ByuN is going to have to be on the back foot in a little bit once those Niduses get up and running. Oh!
Another delay on that base. Been nicely done here for ByuN.
Yeah, that was 2 cancels. Oh my god.
In immediate succession. How is this medevac still alive?
Oh god, it's got 3 HP, puppy, and it's barely going to be able to escape. Meanwhile, the Hydras are threatening and pulling the attention away from ByuN here towards the left-hand side of the map. Nidus gets taken out here in the natural.
Definitely not expecting ByuN to be able to do that, but Armani is starting to stretch his attention right now. One Nidus should get up in the main base, while the entire main army collapses into position. Good EMPs and decent snipes coming out from ByuN. Actually, very good snipes. Holy.
Yeah, and again, Armani fighting with pure Ling, no banelings. Nidus does get up here at the natural base. A couple of lurkers do get into that. Oh my god! Ah, the SCVs! That was 23 SCVs!
In the blink of an eye, get taken out immediately.
They were all on that one mineral patch.
They were. But you know what? We're in the late game right now. Terran wants to get rid of SCVs in favor of mules.
True. Not the biggest loss here, but a loss nonetheless. ByuN, what I'm really worried about is the fact that he's stuck on 4 bases. He needs to expand. He needs to get a 5th up and running at some point.
He really does. He's also not going to have that much protection against these lurkers, as if he does decide to mule a little bit too much here.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, another juicy Widowmine shot goes up, but the lurkers are here. They have the high ground as well. ByuN pushing up this ramp is just not going to work out for him. The Bailey's are rolling in as well. They connect with the ghosts.
Yeah, there's no detection right now for Armani, but he is well aware of where those ghosts are positioned. Manual detonations don't care about whether they can see anything or not.
Exactly. At the same time, we do have 2 overseers, one coming into the natural, another coming into the main base as well. Niduses are being thrown down all over the place. ByuN has to respond, but there are still lurkers at his third.
Everything is starting to converge on top of ByuN, from the front, from the top, and from the back as well. He is trading surprisingly well, incredibly well, honestly.
Yeah.
But can he keep this up for too much longer? His mining is really starting to take a hit. I mean, Armani's mining about 3 times more than ByuN is right now.
He is, like, again, the economy of Armani has been left completely alone. These Niduses have not been getting up. But again, the story of this is, as long as Armani can stop the 5th, then he is fine. He is perfectly fine. Like, ByuN, he's trying to land it. He actually may even... Oh, never mind. I was like, is he just going to land his main? Nah, he's got plenty of orbitals. He's...
Yeah.
Oh,
he knew he needed scans.
Jesus Christ.
May as well.
It's a lot of energy.
It is. He started to make a couple of his SCVs now.
Oh boy, and we'll see if he can survive a little bit longer. We do have Niduses going down. Yo, Tanks is getting some decent volleys up on this army as well. Armani's having a really hard time breaking the defenses of ByuN.
Yeah, but maybe from the back, might be able to pull it off. Lurkers do get up. But ByuN is targeting them down. It felt like they took a little while to burrow there. Do they have? They don't. They don't have adaptive talents yet.
Oh no! I was wondering that as well. I was like, there's no way that Armani forgot it. He did. He recognized it as soon as you did. Hold on. That took a little bit to burrow. Adaptive talents just now starts.
And this is a little bit of a window of opportunity for ByuN. He's been able to take those, take out those Niduses, take out these lurkers as well. He's got Armani on the back foot, and he has a much larger army than he has.
Yeah, again, Armani has just been trading far too inefficiently recently. We saw how good the Widowmine shots have been on so many of these things, how good the snipes have been as well. The base towards the bottom left is completely forfeit. And sure, Niduses have been going up, but Armani is actually broke.
What? How is that even possible? That's ByuN, okay, for at least a second, had a bit more of a bank than Armani did. He's making full-on use of it. Of course, ByuN, he's got less workers. You know what that means? He's got more army.
True, true. ByuN does have almost triple the army supply of Armani right now.
All the mules.
The mule hammer is real. Armani trying to expand towards the top right-hand side of the map. Instead, if this base gets up and running, then Armani can rebuild. But ByuN is soon going to be maxed out. He's going to be pushing out. He doesn't give a damn about the fact that anything's on fire or that anything's like about his economic situation. He just push out. And Armani, does he even have any lurkers left? He doesn't. He has 0 lurkers.
Oh no, and he doesn't have the bank to mineral bank anyway to remake them. Not at the moment. Widowmine's popping off left and right, and ByuN's bio army is still looking so strong. He's gonna be pushing out now. He doesn't even need to. Armani. Oh no, I'm sorry. ByuN takes game number 1. I was so proud to say Armani takes game number 1 throughout the majority of that game because he was so far ahead. But ByuN, he makes magic happen from the unlikeliest of places.
Mate, that's gonna haunt not just our, that's gonna haunt me. Forgetting adaptive talents. Oh, like these Niduses, these lurkers in general could have been doing that much more damage. Like, but like that period, that window period where they burrow, like that's what an extra shot going off. That means more time, more damage being dealt in general. That's make or break in the main.
Really is. Get your upgrades, Zerg players. PSA.
Get your upgrades. And with that, Armani was just... It wasn't just that, though. Like, another part of it was also those Widow Mines. Like, there were so many times where on camera we caught Widow Mines going off on giant clumps of lings. Like, it was... it was not a pretty sight.
It really wasn't. And it absolutely wasn't. And sure, they were just lings, quote unquote. They weren't banelings or anything more gas intensive like that, but it does add up. The mineral losses on all of those lings do add up over time. I'm glad I left the game after the victory screen light. I did not want to I did not want to look at the units lost tab there to see how many lings got taken out, and we just got a bit of an update here. Very unfortunate. Armani has forfeited after game number 1. Hope it's nothing too serious going on there, but yeah, it's a little unfortunate.
Yeah. As you were saying, hopefully, you know, maybe he just had some plans and he didn't intend to play throughout the entire series or the entire tournament. Hopefully there's nothing serious when it comes to like a medical issue or something like that. But yeah, GG.
Or if he's just, you know, lost the will to keep going after that game.
With the loss of that game, his will to live, his will to compete has been crushed, I should say, to turn it back a little bit.
We're gonna see Armani not sign up for ESL Asia anymore. No, what have you done, ByuN?
ByuN, please. And with that, the final Zerg player of the entire tournament has been eliminated.
Yep, nothing but Protoss and Terran from here on out. I will say that I hope Armani doesn't take that loss too hard because, well, it does feel, you know, like a little... It always feels bad when you're that far ahead and then you end up losing the game, but, you know, important to note, he kept up incredibly well against the aggression of ByuN of all players for a very long time that game.
He really did, and that's nothing to scoff at, at all. Like, that was a beautiful game 1, and we would have loved to have had a continuation of that series, but unfortunately that is not going to happen. Instead, we are moving on to the semi-finals. It looks as if the upper semis has already started. It is being covered by some of the other English casters. I believe Zombie Grub is covering that series, maybe? I don't know. Someone is covering that series.
I can check. I think Chicken Man's going to be covering that, or is currently covering that. Yep, Chicken Man covering that in English.